What is up? Welcome back to the channel. Oh my god, this stuff is heavy and it's hot, boys. It's 100 degrees today. It is officially summer. The truck was on fire trying to load it from the side of the house. This thing is like on fire. It was cooking. My hands were burning, sweating my butt off, but you guys can see, yeah, boy, that's right, fellas. By the title of this video, it is exhaust day, fellas. So that's one step closer to trying to get this thing fired up. We're actually got the truck loaded up in the trailer. We're on our way, should say going to, the exhaust shop. 6651 Customs. El Chapo's gonna hook it up down there. So we're gonna take this to him, let him do his thing, but let me show you or give you an idea what's going on here. So we opted out, fellas, for the Black Widow full exhaust kit. This is their full exhaust kit right here, all the way to up and over the rear end. So they have one that's if you're gonna decide to dump them before the rear end, they got that kit too, but this is the complete kit that comes out and over the rear end and out the back. We wanted definitely that so we can eliminate some of that drone. And not to mention, we opted out with the 300 series Venoms from Black Widow, of course, the 3-inch. So this is gonna be all 3-inch. And also their V-band clamps. Did you guys know they sell V-band clamps? V-band clamps, of course, you got to have those for serviceability, not to mention the X-pipe. So we got the 3-inch X-pipe as well, fellas, but now we can take this stuff down there and get this thing done.
The following Thursday.
Hopefully you guys can hear me. It's a little loud in here, but we just got to the shop. It is a few days later. Obviously, we left the truck with Chapo because he had to do his thing. He had to order a couple parts, but let me show you how it came out. Not too shabby, fellas, man. That looks freaking good, you guys. Super excited, can't wait to hear this thing run. But we didn't do nothing crazy here on the backside. Kind of just wanted to hide them a little bit and go all the way back, all the way on the backside around the axle, just because to reduce some of that cabin noise. But those look freaking good, fellas, along with the X-pipe and the V-band clamps for serviceability, of course. And then Chapo hooked this up here with this nice little flex joint right here, so that way we allow a little bit of movement there. But I like it, fellas. Let me know what you guys think. But again, can't wait to hear this thing when we get that first start. Are continuing on the C10 project. By the title of this video, you guys already know what we're about to do. We finally got the inner fenders for the truck. We've really been waiting on these things. It's really what's going to help basically get this first start on this truck, because we got to finish the plumbing on the truck and we can't really account for it until we have the inner fenders, so we can see what kind of room we have for all the plumbing, basically including all the heater hoses, the AC lines, power steering, stuff like that. But let me show you what we got. Well, fellas, we opted out for the switch suspension inner fender tubs. This is their mild kit, and this is basically going to allow us to basically ride as low as we can with that suspension setup from TCI. Now, we went with these ones because, again, a couple reasons why is that my buddy actually lives in Arizona and they're pretty local to him, so he actually picked us up these on his way into town for us. And not to mention, I really like the fact that they give you like basically a splash guard for the backside of the fender and everything else like that. And they give you a nice little template here to kind of help you figure out where you need to cut. So we kind of got it mocked up right now, just trying to figure out, make sure everything aligns correctly. But now we can actually cut the inner fender here, the structure here, so we can figure out how these things are gonna fit into the truck. So as a matter of fact, let's get cutting.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys.
Well, fellas, we hit a crossroad here because they come with this little Z bracket right here in this area, and it looks like this, but we must have lost one along the way in the shipping area because the box was kind of tore up when it showed up, and there's only one of these in the kit. And I got a feeling that these are directional, so this is probably the passenger side, because when I go to put this in here, it's supposed to live right in here and bolt to your fender. And you can see the holes don't align, and it looked like they would align on the driver, or I should say passenger side. This is the driver side fender. You see how off it is right there. So yeah, so we're gonna have to figure out how to get one of these made, or reach out to them, see if we can do there. Definitely gonna hold us up. But what I'll do is let's get a little YouTube magic and see if we can get the other side mocked in. Bam, just like that, fellas, we got the other side done. Now definitely the little Z bracket is not universal, so you can see definitely this one was for the passenger side, so we are missing the driver side, but the rest of it's mocked in. We got this kind of loose because that's going to have to bolt to the core support at some point, but at least we can try to get this side mocked up until we can get the other one basically to finish the other fender. But I think we get this mocked up at least for now. Little bit of a struggle, fellas. I kind of expected it though. I was really trying hard to have the fender in lined up without, or I should say, and putting the inner fender in afterwards, but Definitely not going to happen, especially not by myself. I was starting to scratch stuff up. Like these tubs are just so big that it's just so hard to get it in here without hitting the firewall, hitting the core support. I started hitting the core support in here, scratching it up. Yeah, definitely can't get that inner fender with the fender on. So I had to take the fender off, bolt it to the actual fender, try to get it in line there. Definitely worked out a lot better. Kind of left everything loose and started kind of bolting a little bit by little. But overall, pretty good fitment. Got one issue. That's probably about it. One issue really. You can see down here, nice fitment down here with the bracket that they give you to bolt to the core support. I'll show you guys from the bottom side. And then we got the Z bracket down here bolted to the inner fender and then to the core support, utilizing the stock factory bolts on the core support side. Here we are down below, fellas. You can see what I was talking about here. Plenty of room here, plenty of nice little clearance with the slotted bracket, so you can adjust it and bolt it to the core support on the front side. You can see kind of suspension is definitely very tight around there. And then we get to the splash shield here. I got everything bolted down here besides one bolt here to the cab, but everything lines up. Shouldn't be an issue there. But I definitely wish this splash shield kind of would have went a little further out just to kind of protect this entire area right here, but not a big deal. But overall, pretty good so far. This is the problem we're gonna have is the AC line. You can see this AC line right here, super tight. Maybe two papers, maybe you can slide between the inner fender and that line. Super tight there. So we're definitely gonna have to notch it, make some clearances or something like that here, figure that out. But I also am not sure if I wanna run the lines out this way, straight shot towards the compressor and stuff like that. Or maybe, again, drill into this guy here and then run them through the fender and then back out front. Not sure, we gotta figure that out. But we also want to probably put this thing on the ground, put the wheels on it, make sure nothing's rubbing, nothing's hitting, nothing's bottoming out. And yeah, maybe I'll do the other side real quick off camera and then put this thing down on the ground and check clearances. All right, fellas, we got both of them in, and this one was a little bit more of a pain in the butt just because that Z bracket down there that holds it to the core support, if I can get my camera to focus, was a little bit off on the core support side. We ended up having to kind of remount the holes a little bit to get those holes and bolts to fall in. Still on the driver's side here, so I got the wheel turned the other way now, and it definitely catches that a little bit just there on the inner fender. You can kind of see the gap and where it starts to kind of almost touch it. I don't know if you guys can see it very well, but just the slightest bit. Again, see if we can kind of massage that over in and out of the way. Let's check the other side. All right, fellas, we are at the passenger side, and bigger issue on this side. You can see, but it's all the fender right here. That's all fender being the problem on this side. We're definitely gonna have to trim that back a little bit so we don't pop a tire full lock for sure. And then this side, the splash shield on the back side, just barely hitting, but I don't have the bolt there. So what I'll do is I'll put the bolt here, suck it down and see if it's still making contact. But I mean, that's just barely, not much. We can probably even massage that down a little bit. All right, fellas, went ahead and grabbed some hoses, went to AutoZone, picked some stuff up, went to the speed shop, picked up a couple fittings for these AC lines, but got a little bit of a problem here. We went ahead and notched, obviously, the tub there, because there's just no way. Like I said, I really wish they kind of would have accounted for that, but it is what it is. Start cutting. This is what happens rebuilding custom cars, right? But I went ahead and got the 90 for the top line here, but I don't like the way it sits. It's just too much of a kink. I think I'm gonna go get a 40, and then that way they kind of hug that fender like that, because this one, all of them except that one line, like I said, you can see how far it kinks out over there. So I'm going to see if maybe a 45 would be better. Kind of taper, follow this taper here. But you guys already know this vintage air stuff, you got to have the inline valve for the heater. And what we came up with, obviously I don't want it exposed or anything like that. Obviously it's going to live right in this area. But that guy, there's your valve that you get from vintage air. I mean, most of the aftermarket AC companies run the same valve. But look at what we made. We made a little bracket. I just kind of finished it up. And it'll basically bolt to that. You see right now I just got the 2 bolts. So what I'm going to do, I plan on kind of having it live like that on that side. So let me see if I can get a better shot for you guys. It's kind of hard to see, fellas. I'm sorry about the angle, but you can kind of get the idea, you see. And it'll bolt to the inner fender like that, and then those same bolts will actually bolt the valve to the bracket. So it'll be nice and clean, and we'll powder coat it the same color, and then we'll run the lower AC line right underneath it like that one, like how it is there. And then the top two, the top AC line and the heater line, will run actually on top of it. If I can get this thing out of the way with one freaking hand. So they'll run on top of it, so you won't even be able to see it once those lines are kind of routed on top. Plus, it hides the valve. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm really about serviceability, fellas. I thought about running all this stuff through the fender, but then you won't be able to get to it. Not to mention you're going to have that many more connection points, aka leak points, potential leak points. So I don't want to do that either. So at least this way, everything's serviceable. You really don't have to pull any of the lines out to get the fender out if you need to for whatever reason. And everything can still stay connected. All you gotta do is unbolt the valve from the backside and everything will fall right out. But I think I like that for sure. So let me know what you guys think about my little quick bracket we made up. But now I gotta pull this out so I can drill into this and drill this bracket into here to line it up. And then we gotta fix basically this hole here. I kind of want to close this up a little bit, so we'll probably extend this further out and make like a little pocket like they did on the other side to try to kind of finish it off here, so that way it's all finished on the back side. Not too shabby, fellas. I think I can live with that for sure on this little patch job. Now we got to test fit it and see if that AC line clears. Well, fellas, that looks freaking beautiful. That came out money, you guys. Absolutely money right there. Perfect amount of space. Able to get that thing on and off, no issues. And even our little guy here, our little valve cover, like, check that out. That looks freaking good, fellas. I like it. It's hidden, discreet, but accessible. You can get to it, no problem. You can kind of see our lines, kind of started to route them a little bit. Heater lines are there, but obviously we still need to get that fitting for the top AC line here for the compressor. And then we have our line here, the bottom one that comes off the firewall to the condenser side, and then we still have one of them there from the dryer to the actual compressor. But that's about it. Again, I gotta wait till I go to the speed shop and pick that fitting back up. But I like it, fellas, looking good. One last thing I gotta do, I don't think I'm gonna do it today though, because I realized is that our harness, headlight harness, and even side marker harness, it's gonna be difficult to get that side marker in there because there's no opening for it. So we're going to end up having to drill a hole out on the side panel on each tub. So if if you guys are running inner fenders and tubs and stuff like that, keep that in mind. You're gonna want to be able to access that harness for the side marker. Man, fellas, it is freaking hot today. It's about 105 a day. I'm burning up and the sun's starting to hit me real bad. But I think that's gonna do it for this video. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, the like button, and hit the bell for notifications. And you guys already know, stay wrenching.